Alright, I'm recording on Nexus Wars, which is a custom arcade game. It's always in the top 10, and I'm going to talk you through the opening stages and the techniques with regards to the back and forth. This is a tug-of-war custom game, and there is really more technique to this game than meets the eye, because after having played quite a few of these games, there are certain pivotal points of the game that everybody needs to be aware of, and if you support each other on the two lines, the two lanes, then you have a much better chance or opportunity to win the game. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start out by selecting our SUV, and you need to look to see if you're on top or bottom. If you're on the bottom, I'm going to jump down here and I'm going to start building, but it looks like these guys he's already jumped out and made two, so I'm going to have him go Protoss. Alright, what you're going to notice is you got resources in the top right hand corner up here at the top. This is going to govern as to what type of units that you're going to build. These are on timer. If you notice that Z-Lot has a 30-second build time, and they're going to come out periodically. Each one of these rounds here, each next round, is when you get your next income. So in 2 seconds it pops up. There I've got my income. When I select my SUV here and I want to do a new building of a new unit, it also specifies there, if you'll notice where it says Z-Lot plus 3 income, that's going to be the income that I get for every single round. You have a maximum population. Right now I'm at 2 of 90. You won't get to obviously to the 90 until the later rounds of the game. Income in the very early regions of the game is very important, because it's kind of a bell curve. Starts out slow, ramps up to a peak, and then as soon as you've capped out at all the number of units that you could possibly have, then you're going to start doing upgrades. Now notice over here in the bottom left hand corner you've got the map. You've got the bottom track, you've got the top track, and what I'm looking at right here is the units fighting. So my opponent's on the left, I'm on the right, I have 4 team members. I've got 2 building on the bottom, myself being one of those individuals, and then I've got 2 people building on the top. You see the players. This is really important right here, this column, to keep in mind whenever building, because you want to keep an eye on the income, particularly of the opposing team, to see when they are going to put down their pylon. Pylon is a unit right here that we're going to cover. It costs 175 mineral, but it's not one that you want to save up for initially. One of the most important early techniques of this particular arcade game is syncing your units. You're going to notice that you've got build time bar underneath the health of these buildings. I'm going to show you a very important technique, because you want to send these. If you see my partner right here saying you need to sync these units up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this next round. I'm going to let them all launch, and then I'm going to cancel the build of all 3 of them at the same time. Okay, I'm going to let this one go, and then I'm going to cancel. I'm going to do this by going bang, 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 cancel, cancel, cancel. Then what's happened is that let it sit, and boom, they're going to launch all at the same time. So now we're synced up, keeping an eye on the income. Also looking at the progression of my units down the line. I'm checking to see what units they're sending. So it looks like I've got a Protoss and then I've got a Terran that are running on the other side right now. And this is not a bad player. These are pretty good, effective units at the very beginning. So you see I've got this here. Now one of the critical elements is that we do have DTs and we do have invisible units, just like we do in regular Starcraft games. And the detector that you want to use is a sentry right here. So we went ahead and get a sentry out. You notice I built one grid off right there, and I didn't mean to do that. You want to line these up, because if you can block your units in by building 3 deep. So you want to give these horizontal access lanes in order for your units to get out. And you're going to notice I need to sync up this along with the other, so I'm going to let one get out there to be a detector. On the next go around, after these 3 get out there, the 3 zealots, then I'm going to sync up that detector. You see that the income is progressively getting quicker because the income that I'm earning per round is building with each new unit that I put out. The higher level units are only able to be built once you get some of these lower level units built in. For instance, the Archon require you to have built a building for the Storm Assassin. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save for the Immortal. Immortal's fairly effective, particularly against Terran. And it also gives you an income of +7. It's very important that you take a look at the opportunities to save for Pylon. And that typically means you want to do that whenever you're on a push. Notice my teammates on the top lane up here, they are pushing into the opponent's base. But they have a dynamic of unit consolidation, and if you notice that the further you push into your opponent's territory, the timing of the units will sync up, and in turn they support each other by focusing DPS on your incoming unit stream, and in turn the tides of war will turn on you. And you see that's what's happening here on the bottom right here. We've got somewhat of a balance, but they're making a march or a push back. And it looks like we're going to have a bad scenario for us, because it looks like both lanes are going to be pushing up, so therefore we're going to be 2 and 2 top and bottom with regards to supporting. And what I mean by supporting is because we're going to have to use SUVs, particularly in the early game, to attack those units, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, because we're going to be doing it both top lane and bottom lane. Alright, I'm keeping an eye on my economy, and I'm looking for my next ability to upgrade. You notice these require Stalker, these air units, so I'm going to throw down Stalker so I can continue to progress for these air units. Now notice that the build time on the Stalker is 30 along with my Zealots, so I want to sync these up. So I went on ahead and canceled that early build on that so that I could sync them up with my other units. You notice since I've been talking here, I've forgotten to take my Sentry and sync it up along with my Zealots. I'm going to tell my units, my fellow compadres here, that we're going to need to attack. Alright, so he's wanting me to get a storm going, so I'll go ahead and honor his wishes there and help out by throwing one down. I'm going to start thinking about saving for Pylon here pretty soon. Also, I'm going to go ahead and go to the top and start attacking these units. Looks like we're going to have to cannon. Many times, if they're not quite so built and consolidated, you're going to find that you're going to be able to notice I'm picking one unit and I'm attacking that unit, and you are invulnerable to attacks. And you see my teammates have gone ahead and pyloned. I'm going to run up here and start repairing. Looks like I need to repair this other one because it's mainly being attacked. Alright. I'm keeping an eye on the bottom lane down here because my units are doing a pretty effective job. I can't stay here and repair too long because I've got a lot of resources that I need to get down and build on. But at the same time, I can't allow my allies here to go down on the top end, or it'll be good game over. The objective